Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Practical Organic Living. In today's episode, we're going to be testing out this Lomi 3 to see if it's worth splurging on this holiday season. So this Lomi 3 is Lomi's newest generation of kitchentop composters. So what a kitchentop composter pretty much does is that it grinds these kitchen scraps into small odorless particles that you could put in the garden or put into another composter. And the reason you want the kitchen scraps to be grounded into smaller particles is because that there's more surface area for nature or the other composter to break down these particles. So Lomi 3's punchline is that it's got the same bucket size, but it's got a smaller footprint. However, we want to see if this latest generation of the Lomi 3 can perform just as well as our previous Lomi composters. So we're going to put this to a test. But first, we're going to unbox this Lomi 3. Alright, so I'm going to open up this Lomi 3. Alright, so this says Lomi eats last. It's a catchy catchphrase. This is what the packaging looks like. So I open up this box. This comes with a couple of manuals, like what the button functions are and how to use this. So they've got a top packaging here. I'm going to remove this. And here's the Lomi. So it's covered with biodegradable plastic that you can actually compost in these. So these are Lomi filters. These are basically carbon filters that neutralize any odors. So I'll show you how you can use it later. So all that's left is the actual Lomi, and I'm going to lift this out right now. So as you can see, there's nothing else left in the box. I'm going to unravel this box here. So I think there's a couple of different colors for the Lomi 3. I think I just chose this green color because I figured that compost is green, so why not? I'll twirl this around. I believe this is the carbon filter. And in the front, here are the buttons. The button interface looks a little bit different too. Overall, this machine does look quite a bit smaller. I'm now going to show you what's inside, so I have to figure out how to open this. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So before, to open up the Lomi, you'd have to twist the cap. But now, if I press this button, this opens up, and you can see that inside, it's a similar bucket. It's actually a little different, because the previous buckets were a little bit flimsier. I mean, this was like a really small, thin metal strap, but now this is more reinforced. And I'm gonna lift this bucket up, and you can see down here, it's pretty much the same mechanism. There's the motor here that's gonna spin the bucket, and there's a metal plate down here that's gonna heat everything up. When I put it back, there used to be arrows telling you how to put it in, but now I guess that you can only put it in one way. I guess this is nice because I can put my hand here and just pick this bucket up like that. And the same mechanism works with a lot of kitchen composters. You can see how this can spin like this. And this thing here is gonna mash all these food particles into really small bits. So I think in principle, this Lomi 3 should work just as well as our previous Lomis, but yeah, we're gonna take this to a test. So there's two things that we have to do before we start running the Lomi. The first thing is to set up the Wi-Fi so that you can connect to the app, you can see how far along the Lomi is. The second step is to actually put in these carbon filters here. So I showed you these carbon filters, I gotta put them inside. So let me go through real quick about the differences between the Lomi 3 and the previous Lomis. The first one is the smaller footprint, right? So you can see this machine is smaller than Lomi 2 and 1. Lomi says it's almost a third smaller than the previous Lomis, and I would probably agree with that without actually comparing it. The second thing they claim is that it's quieter. That's not really an issue for us because we usually run it after dinner and it takes about 3-4 hours to run, and after runs we're asleep, so the noise doesn't bother us. The third difference is what I'm going to get to here with the filters. In the past there were 2 filter compartments for both the Lomi 1 and 2. There would be one in here, like by the bucket, and there would be another filter compartment in the back. And I didn't really think that was necessary, so they probably figured out that, hey, we can just have one filter compartment. So I'm going to be installing that right now. So these are the Lomi 3 filters, and this is the filter compartment. All you do to take out this filter compartment is there's a little clip. So you press the clip, and then it comes out like that. This is what it looks like in the back. If you need filters, you can scan a QR code, you get more filters, but we've got enough filters. And this is what it looks like in front. Okay, next thing you do is you open it up and you dump your filters in. So I'm actually going to be doing this in the sink. I've learned over the years that you really want to do this in the sink. These are what the filters look like, and it's easy for the filters to come outside. So I'm going to clip this back on. Just going to put this back in as well. And our filters are in. One thing I also say about the filters is that in the past they gave too many filters. So you would actually have more filters than you knew what to do with. Just now, as I'm dumping the filters inside, it's pretty much just about the right amount, which I really appreciate. So next thing I'm going to do is plug this into the outlet. If I were the designer, I might make this a different color. So if I order this green color, then maybe the power cord should be in a different color, because this looks kind of weird. All right, this is what the front looks like, and there's different modes that we've covered in our different videos.
So before you would have to press this button to cycle between the 3 different modes. Now you can just press the icons here and you can cycle through them easily. So this is a pretty nice improvement to their user experience.
So this bucket is pretty much full. So I'm now going to put a Lomi pod in. They now call these Lomi nutrient activators. So these are supposed to help the food waste decompose finer and better, and maybe even provide some nutrients. So I'm gonna start this and we'll see what the final product looks like in a couple hours. So I'm gonna put this lid down and then I'm gonna start this. The machine is pretty quiet. I like this better than the previous machine because you can see more of what's going on in here. You can see how the Lomi is grinding stuff down right now. So do a counterclockwise revolution and then it'll do a counterclockwise. All right, so it's been almost 4 hours later actually, and our Lomi has finished running the kitchen scraps through the process. Now, I'm gonna open up the lid and we are going to see what the finished product looks like. All right, so I'm gonna press the small button here and it's gonna open up. And as you can see, the finished product is a lot less in volume compared to what it originally started from. The finished product, let me take a look. Yeah, it's pretty broken down. You guys saw me put all these filters and kitchen scraps and fibrous vegetables. It's really broken down. It's like the consistency of floss. The best texture descriptor I can come up with is like if you vacuum a carpet and if you see what's vacuumed up, I think this is kind of it. So it's pretty well broken down, definitely. Let me smell. It smells neutral. I don't smell coffee, I don't smell fruit, I don't smell paper towel. It's pretty neutral smelling to me. And one thing actually I like about this now, before, since it was a literally metal handle, when you lifted this up right after the Lomi ran, it was actually pretty hot. Right now, if I lift it up, it's just a little warm. So I'm really glad that Lomi implemented this user feedback. So that was our unbiased video on this Lomi 3 review. We hope this video was helpful in helping you decide whether you'd want to spend a couple $100 buying a kitchentop composter. For us, we think it's worth the money because we compost a lot. We'd probably spend more money buying fertilizer if we didn't have this Lomi. And I hope for you guys, it's something that you consider, because I think if you have gardens or if you want to reduce your food waste or if you live in an apartment and you don't want to have stinky trash, I think this is an excellent option. So thanks for watching and we'll see you